Um, uh, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in this video, we're talking about the free grazing animals, the free grazing animals. So remember, that is one of the things that we mentioned when we're talking about Zakatul Fitr. We mentioned four things. So and one of them was free grazing animals. So what are the conditions for free grazing animals, and how do you pay Zakat uh, with these free grazing animals? So the free grazing animals, the conditions are the nisab. You know the meaning of nisab now. So nisab, that is the amount it has to get to before you begin to think of zakah, or you begin to pay your zakah. So the first is there are three animals involved: the camel, the cow, and the sheep. Camel, cow, and the sheep. The camel, the cow, and the sheep. So in the case of camel, five camels. So when you have five camels, you are good to go for zakah. So how much do you pay for five camels upward? So we'll get to know that later. So cow, 30 cows. When you have about 30 cows, you can start paying your zakah. And then sheep, 40 sheep. When you have about 40 sheep, then you can start paying your uh, zakat. What is the due amount? And these are the things we're talking about in the coming slides. So the second, the second thing is complete cycle of the lunar year. That is complete cycle. You possess these cows or sheep or camel. You possess them throughout a complete cycle of the lunar year. So that is the second condition. And then the third condition is there must be free grazing. There must be free grazing animal that are grazing freely, that is eating from the there must be animals that eat from the weeds on the floor, that is eat the plants on the unwanted plants on the floor. Or they are free grazing, not something that you prepare the food. You prepare their food on your own. You go inside to prepare food, or you go to take a lot of energy in preparing their food. So not animals like this. They must be free grazing animals that feed freely on their own. Then lastly is that there must be non-working animal. There must not be it must not be an animal that you are using for working on the farm. Maybe on the farmland there are certain animals that people use to to work on the farm, like the cow. Sometimes they might attach some implement instruments to the animals, to work on the farm, like the plowing machine and so many other things like that. So it must be an animal that you're not using to work on the farm. So the animals you're not using to work on the farm, they are free grazing. You have possessed them for the complete cycle of lunar year, and it has gotten to the nisab level. Then you can pay your zakah. So how do you pay your zakah? Now there's a long discussion for this that I'll just only be showing us the table. The table shows us between 5 and 9, for instance, that the first row there. 5 and 9, between 5 and 9, the due amount is 1 ram. Remember, 5 is the nisab. So between 5 and 9, 1 ram. What you have in the bracket is the years. That is the amount of years it has gotten to. 1 ram or one sheep that has gotten to that amount of year, or one goat. So that's the way you have it. So or that's gotten to 2 years. So 10 to 14, two sheep, 15 to 19, three sheep, 20 to 24, so and so on, like that. So it continues like that. You follow the table. I'll just leave the table there for us to glance through. So it gets to a stage, you'll give one female camel of 1 year old, another one of 2 year old, another one of 3 year old, 4 year old. So uh, some cases may not necessarily female camels, so that's why you only have camels there, and also two female camels. Or sometimes you have two female camels of 2 year old. So this is the summary. This table summarizes the whole thing. So if it is greater than 120, it will be one female camel of 2 year old for every 40, for every 40. That is, for every 40 camel you possess, it will be one. That is one out of 40, or one camel, not necessarily female, for every 50. One camel for every 50. One female camel, 2 year old, for every 40, or one camel, 3 year old, for every 50, whichever one you like. That is in a case where a person has 120 camel, for instance, or let's say one uh, for every 40, let's say 160 camel. 160 camels. So that will be four female camels of 2 year old. But in the case where a person has like 120 or he has 200 camels, for instance, so if he has 200 camels, he would pay, 200 is divisible by both 40 and 50. So he can either choose to pay in 40, that is 40 camels. For 40 camels, he will pay 5 female camels. For 50, uh, for if he does it for every 50 camel, then he will pay 4 camels of 3 year old. I hope you get that illustration. So that's the explanation of the table. And then we have the due amount for cows in the same manner. So we have the years in the bracket from 30 to 39, 40 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79. Greater than 79, 1 camel for every 30, or one cow for every 30, or one cow 2 year old for every 40. So the last one is sheep. So we also have it here. For every 100, one sheep. For every 100, one sheep. And that is all. So that is the last table on this. That's the last chart we'll be taking. So I'll just leave it for us to glance through. So this is where we stop in this video. In the comment videos, we talk about something different. We talk about Zakatul Fitr. So thank you very much.